Hello, Derby World. How is everyone doing tonight?
That's right. Throughout this event, let us know. Shout out your favorite skaters, your favorite teams, your favorite cities, and let us know where you're tuning in from in the chat. And by the way, thank you for joining us here on the live stream at your one and only Denver Roller Dome. This is your home for Denver Roller Derby and Rocky Mountain Roller Derby. And thank you to all the volunteers that help make these events possible, the skating officials, the non-skating officials, the photographers, and the EMTs. We are getting ready for the last two Denver games of the year, the last two games of 2025. And the first one that we have coming up for you tonight is going to be the epic battle between the team in white, the Candy Canes, versus the team in blue, the Coal Team. Here are your skaters. For the Candy Canes, 02 Bomber, 10 Sid Vicious, 11 Painbow, 14 Hizzle, 15 Brawley Pop, 160 Rosa Lethal, 22 Catatomic Bomb, 25 Pixie Stick, 27 Starstruck, 31 Trick or Treat, 33 Full Tilt, 365 Phoenix 4 Killer B, 52 Panic, 616 El Diablo, 666 Waffles, and 89 Taco Cat. Here are your skaters for the Coal Team. 111 Chaz Manian Devil, 113 Slasher, 17 Dynamite Dog, 181 Darth Skater, 23 Belladonna, 303 Ratatouille, 353 Beetle Kill, 44 Mars Bars, 444 Metalhead, 515 Kit Kat, 55 Axel Rose, 613 Skatanic Panic, 626 Stitch, 66 Poison Emmy, 72 Storm, 77 Autumn, and 88 Track Mamba. Shout out and thank you to all the officials. Without the officials, none of this would be possible. Stack Trace, Sonar, Frodo, K2SO, Speedster, Loud Llama, Wolf Ears, Stretch Mads, Kills, Razzmatazz, Battling, Sassy Cat Sergeant, Mame, Cookies, Engine, Arson, Ginger Spice, and your streaming team tonight, Goblin, and myself, your announcer, Iron Lung.
So glad to be here. Thank you, Iron Lung, for that. We are about to get started here in about 50 seconds. So if you have a drink nearby, you better open that, get that ready. We are going to start, and you're going to see which one's better, Candy Canes or the Coal.
That's right. And speaking of which, let us know in the chat if you've been good this year, or if you've been bad this year, or if you've been really good or really bad or really, really good or really, really bad. We'll see what you're going to get this holiday season. What about you, Goblin? Do you think you're going to get Candy Canes or Coal?
I think probably a little bit of Candy Canes, but probably mostly Coal.
All right. Well, I guess that means that you have been good and bad. You get both prizes.
Well, it's about balance, right? What about yourself?
You know, I feel like somebody would play a trick on me and I get a candy cane and it looks red and white, but then I bite into it and it's actually Coal.
That would be the biggest disappointment ever.
But if you're stranded in the forest, only one of those two is going to save your life. The other one just gives you better breath.
A little bit of sugar, though. Don't want to eat Coal.
But you want to eat what's cooked on top of it. Love to see the hug at the jam line. Love to see the camaraderie and the low five. All right, and we got Full Tilt versus Axel Rose. Both jammers are fighting hard at the back of the pack. Axel Rose with two to beat at the front, getting denied on the inside by Brawley Pop. And Full Tilt getting out at that apex for lead. Both jammers are now out on scoring passes. Fast moving pack here, already headed back toward that apex. Both teams' defense getting ready at turn one. full tilt, crashing into the defense and calling off the first jam. That's going to be, oh no, no candy canes or coal for anybody yet this holiday season.
It's going to be a good matchup, though.
Definitely, yeah, well, already feeling the tension, already feeling the tension. All right, and we have Darth Skater versus Catatonic Bomb. Catatonic Bomb recycled on the outside. Darth Skater has 2 to beat, gets through these defenders at turn 2, getting out for lead. Jammer, Catatonic Bomb getting some offense. And a directional gameplay penalty sends El Diablo to the penalty box. As Catatonic Bomb looks for the direct way through these defenders. Darth Skater taking on the pivot, getting out past the final opposing skater for 4 points. Catatonic Bomb working that inside, finding the way out at turn 1. Now on a scoring pass, Darth Skater picking up another 4 and calling the jam. After that first 0-0 jam, this is going to be 12-0 for the Cole team, first on the scoreboard.
Looks like Cole's going to have an advantage the beginning of this jam. We have one person for Candy Cane still in the penalty box, El Diablo.
With those 12 points, I'm picturing like an egg carton with 12 pieces of coal. All right, we have Phoenix versus Taco Cat, and right away on the inside, Taco Cat is out for lead. Jammer. Phoenix fighting through turn 1. And Autumn, the Cole pivot sent to the penalty box. Phoenix out on a scoring pass as Taco Cat has taken 4 points on that second straightaway. Phoenix weaving through, getting out at turn 3, taking 4 points. Taco Cat crashing into this Candy Cane's tripod. And calling the jam. D9 points to Phoenix at that last split second. This will be 4-4. At the Skate Rats jam line, we have Sid Vicious versus Jasmine Devil. Both jammers trying for that inside. Jasmine Devil maintaining balance, getting out at the straightaway for lead jammer. Jasmine Devil now out on a scoring pass as Sid Vicious evades, finding that clear path around the outside and calls the jam. Four and 0 Candy Canes. Keeping up on our stocking stuffer tally. Candy Canes catching up on that deficit. Just 8 points behind Cole. And at the Skate Rats jam line, we have Killer Bee versus Stitch. Forearm block penalty, sending Brawly Pop to the penalty box as Killer Bee. Here's our Philly Jammer. Stitch shoving Panic aside. 2 to beat at the front for Stitch. Killer Bee almost with that apex jump. And Stitch is out on a scoring pass. Killer Bee making a move for the outside. Getting out. We didn't see the points yet, but calling off that jam. Okay, looks like that one was 0-0. Oh, no. 2-0. Both teams now in the double digits. All right. right, and this is Track Mamba off to a power start. Killer Bee in the penalty box. Track Mamba recycled on the inside, looking to push directly through these defenders at turn 3. And a high block penalty, sending Track Mamba to the penalty box. And here we are with a jammer swap. Candy Cane skaters setting up for some offense. Killer Bee crashing into these 3 defenders at the front. Candy Cane skaters looking to clear the path. Brawly Pop with the offense clearing the way as Killer Bee gets out on the inside of turn 2. Hen is now lead jammer. Track Mamba trying all sides of the track. Almost tiptoes through on the inside. Getting denied by Painbow. Killer Bee 1 versus 3 at turn 2. Illegal contact penalty. Sending the Candy Cane pivot to the box. As Track Mamba is now out on a scoring pass. And however, from the straightaway, Killer Bee calls off that jam. That is 3-0 Candy Canes catching up. The score so close. Currently only a 3-point difference in favor of Cole. Next up at the Skate Rats jam line, we have Hizzle versus Autumn. Both jammers crashing directly into the pack, and both jammers are out. Autumn with lead jammer, and we have a race. Jammer versus jammer. Forcing that call off. Quick but intense 0-0.
Hey, Long, what is that weird star thing on these skaters' heads? What is going on there?
Yeah, thank you for asking. Since this is the holiday bout, we got all kinds of ornaments. We got the stars. You're going to see some jingle bells hanging from other people's helmets. I'm just kidding. The skaters with the star helmet covers are what's known as the jammers. And as you can see, as Dart Skater has just done, if you are the first person with the holiday ornament star to exit the pack, you are the lead jammer. That means you can then call off the jam by tapping your hips. Both jammers are now out, and what that means is they are both eligible to score. However, just like we mentioned before, Dart Skater tapped hips and called off the jam.
So wait, what's so special about being the lead jammer?
That means you get to initiate the swirls at the jam line. I'm also just kidding there. If you were, let's see if we can describe it as it happens. Once there is a lead jammer here, I'll tell you more.
Okay.
All right, and we have full tilt versus axle rolls. Both jammers denied on the outside. Stitch coming in with offense, looking to clear the way. Axle rolls trying to get around Trick or Treat. Full tilt, running out past Slasher. And as what we just mentioned before, the matching jam ref who is watching this jammer has one arm pointed up in the air. That's how you know this person is lead jammer, and that means that this jammer can call off the jam. They can end this play by tapping hips.
So
that can be used to prevent the other team from scoring. It can also be used to either freeze an opponent in the penalty box. All kinds of strategery can happen.
So does that mean if you're not the lead jammer, the second jammer, you can't call off the jam?
That is right. Your fate is in the hands and hips of the opposing jammer.
Okay, okay. So you definitely want to get out first. You want to get that lead jammer as fast as possible.
That's right. You want to play a combination of football and bowling to just get everybody out that way. Or just do a double backflip and jump over the entire crowd to get out first.
Okay. Then I see this another helmet cover. It's got this weird stripe.
Yeah, it does. That is the tracing pattern for when you're going to go get a mohawk later, like me. Nah, that just means that those skaters are what's called the pivots. Everyone who is not a jammer, everyone who does not have a star is blocking, but the person with the mohawk outline can receive the star from the jammer. This person can receive a star pass, becoming the new jammer and skating as fast as you can to try to get points for your team.
Okay, so if the jammer gets stuck, like our candy cane jammer right now, they could pass it to their pivot.
That is an available option. Normally you want the pivot out ahead of you to do it, or you just get extra strong and bust out like we just saw Phoenix do. By the way, Phoenix currently on a power jam, meaning you were the only one with the star on the track currently. Phoenix sneaking through that outside unopposed for 4 points. Track Mamba with a juke, tiptoeing that inside. Phoenix looking to push directly through the entire defense. And Track Mamba gets out at the apex for 4 points. Phoenix tiptoeing that inside. Getting out at turn 3, taking 4. Another 4 from Mamba. Both teams' defense heading into the straightaway. Phoenix held back on the outside by Dynamite Dog. Looking to get past Poison Emmy and Darth Skater and Dynamite Dog. Track Mamba getting out past, almost getting out, getting recycled now. Has to work through El Diablo, taking on 1 versus 3.
That was amazing blocking there. Of course, amazing jamming trying to get around that blocker as well.
Absolutely amazing everything out there, all positions. And we just mentioned that earlier, if you get out first, your lead jammer, or if both teams' defense are super glued to the track, you could see what we just saw where nobody exits the pack. All right, we got Hizzle versus Taco Cat. Hizzle finding that clear path on the outside. No resistance, getting out for lead jammer. Taco Cat making a run out of turn 2 on a scoring pass. Candy Cane Skaters looking to clear away for Hizzle. Hizzle sliding through that outside. Getting out at turn 3 for 4 points and calling the jam. That's going to be 4-0. Catching up on that deficit score super close. Currently only a 2-point difference in favor of Cole.
Sounds like there's a timeout for the Candy Canes.
All right, shout out to our sponsor, Pulsed Brewing Company. 2540 19th Street in Denver and other locations around Colorado. You do have time before the end of tonight's games to hop on a quick plane flight or drive over here to check one of them out. The mission is simple: to brew a beer so good that it fosters a sense of community around all those who enjoy it. At the brewery, we live this mission every day, dedicating ourselves to the unbridled pursuit of German craft beer perfection. This is beer that tastes like beer. And shout out to Trash Hog Tavern. Hey there, trash babies. Welcome to the Trash Fam. Stop by Trash Hog on 1539 South Broadway for ridiculous drink specials, table tennis, free hot dogs, and rub the fur wall.
Luckily, I think they also have root beer for our skaters here.
Served by real life raccoons. I'm just kidding. No, the raccoons serve the hot dogs, not the beer.
Where'd they get those hot dogs?
And don't look in the trash can. And we have Sid Vicious versus Jasmanian Devil. Sid Vicious getting recycled by Dart Skater. Jasmanian Devil also recycled to the apex. Sid Vicious 1 versus 3, trying all sides of the track as Jasmanian Devil gets out on the inside of the straightaway. Out for the jammer. Candy Cane Skater sent to the penalty box. That is Waffles. Has Jasmanian Devil takes 4 points. Sid Vicious 1 to beat here. Almost gets past Dynamite Dog. That brief fall allows the defense to reform. And Sid Vicious getting the release out on a scoring pass. Jasmanian Devil out at turn 2 for 4 points and calling off that jam.
So why might you want to call off a jam before the 2 minutes?
Yeah, so one reason that you see commonly is depending on where that other jammer is. If that other jammer is about to get past some of your teammates and score points, you might want to call it off. That's one option.
Like a defensive play.
Exactly. Offensive, defensive, offensive, defense. Or
True.
if that other jammer is in the penalty box and you realize that 30 seconds is about to expire, you could call the jam, freezing that person in the box and getting your next teammate what's called a power start, where they will be the only jammer on the track. Both jammers currently fighting through each other's defense. Ratatouille coming in with some offense for Stitch. Rosalethal catching a ride from Waffles. Rosalethal making a run through the inside, getting out at turn 3 for Lee Jammer. Stitch looking for the way around these Candy Cane defenders. Rosalethal almost getting through on the inside. Rosalethal running into Slasher. Oh, and a head block sending Waffles to the penalty box as Stitch has 2 more to beat at the front here. Taking on Killer Bee and Brawley.
You mean you can't block with your head?
Unfortunately, no. Otherwise, I'd be doing that all day. Stitch now out on a scoring pass. Rosalethal taking 4 points at the straightaway. And with a rock star move at the end, calling off that jam. The only thing we were missing there was the air guitar solo. And that was 4-0. All right, we got Pixie Stick versus Darth Skater. Jasmanian Devil coming in with offense for Darth Skater, clearing the path as Darth Skater is out for Lead Hammer. Pixie Stick pushing for the inside. Darth Skater pulling a stop evasion move, almost stays inbound. Darth Skater out at turn 2 for 4 points. Looks like Catatonic Bomb currently with the star for the Candy Canes as Darth Skater takes another 4. Catatonic Bomb recycled. Back down the apex, looking to get past Track Mamba. Hey, another 4 for Darth Skater. Catatonic Bomb looking to push directly through these defenders. And there it is, Goblin. That's what we had talked about before, that star pass where the Mohawk helmet cover skater now has been handed the star.
And they can do anything a regular jammer can do now.
Exactly, yeah. Including scoring points for the team and trying to fight through. However, Darth Skater has called this jam.
But when the pivot receives that star hat, they're probably not the lead jammer and then can't call off the jam.
That is right. Your fate is still possibly in the hands and hips of someone else. However, if your teammate that passed you the star had previously been blocked and unable to get out, now you are free and have a scoring chance.
Okay.
All right, Autumn pulling a side surf. Both jammers are out. Well, Autumn assessed lead jammer. And the reason we know that is because the corresponding jam ref, those two striped officials in the center, the one with the blue colored wristband has one hand pointed at the ceiling, and Autumn has called the jam. Candy Cane's skater forcing that call off. All right, at the Skate Rats Jam line, we have Sid Vicious versus Jasmine and Devil. Sid Vicious right away, finding that clear path on the inside. Getting out for lead jammer, Jasmine and Devil tiptoeing past the final defenders. Also out on a scoring pass. Sid Vicious weaving past Darth Skater and Belladonna. Hey, calling off the jam.
You might notice on the bottom left corner of your screen a picture there. It says Skate-a-thon. We are collecting donations for our 4th annual Denver Roller Derby Skate-a-thon, and that is open until December 20th. These donations are going to raise money for our Skater Hardship Fund, which we will tell you more about in a few minutes.
All right, we got Full Tilt versus Axel Rolls. Full Tilt denied on that inside. Axel Rolls taking on Panic and Brawly Pop at the front. Slasher coming in to take on Full Tilt. However, Full Tilt gets out for lead jammer. Axel Rolls also out on a scoring pass. As both teams' defense get ready at the apex. Full Tilt crashing into this defense and calling the jam. Just like we had mentioned before, one of the optional strategies is calling it off before that other jammer has a chance to score. And that's what we just saw. That was 3-0 Candy Canes.
So it's smart play. Okay, it's all about the strategy, though. It's not just getting through the other wall.
It's absolutely both. All right, we got Phoenix versus Track Mamba. Track Mamba. Denied on the inside. Tiptoes past those defenders. However, receives an illegal contact penalty sent to the penalty box as Phoenix is out for lead jammer and currently on a power jam. Let's see how Phoenix capitalizes on this time before the opposing jammer returns. Phoenix tiptoeing that outside, getting past the final two defenders, out for 4 points. Trick or Treat coming in for some offense. Track Mamba prevented on both sides of the track, taking down those 3 defenders on the way through. Track Mamba, 1 more to beat. Gets out past Bomber. Now on a scoring pass. Phoenix fighting at the back of the pack, getting some offense from Waffles. Track Mamba sneaking through the inside of turn 3 for 4 points. And from that second apex, Phoenix calls the jam. Eight and 4 Candy Canes.
And so our Skate-a-thon, which again is open until December 20th, it's to raise money for our Skater Hardship Fund in case like someone's gear gets stolen or maybe they've lost their job and want to still keep skating through that hard time.
Or you've misplaced your mouthpiece 3 times in the same week. I've been there. We got Killer B versus Autumn. Autumn running past Hizzle, however, receiving a penalty and sent to the penalty box. This is a power jam for Killer B, who is also lead jammer. Candy Canes look like they're setting up for some offense possibly. And Panic also in that penalty box. Hizzle coming in for some offense. Killer B getting out past the inside of Taco Cat for 4 points. Slasher sent to the penalty box on a multiplayer block. And Killer B pulling off an apex jump for 4 points. Killer B crashing into Barrel. Each team getting points in that jam. That is 8-3. Candy Canes. All right, at the Skater Rats jam line, we have Darth Skater off to a power start. Darth Skater with 2 to beat at the front, pushes directly through the center of Painbow and Catatomic Bomb, getting out for lead jammer. Coal Skaters might be setting up for an offense play. Darth Skater looking to push directly through these defenders. Skates by on the outside, taking 4 points. Darth Skater busting through the center of that defense again, getting out of turn 3 for 4 points. Killer B denied on the inside by Chaz, Manny and Devil. El Diablo coming in for offense. Killer B looking to push directly through these defenders as Darth Skater takes another 4. And we have Rosalito versus Stitch. Stitch looking to push through the center. Rosalito getting caught in a sandwich between 2 of these Coal Skaters. Gets out past the defense, finds a clear path on the inside, makes a run for it, gets out at turn 2 for lead jammer. Stitch getting some offense from the Coal teammates. Stitch with 3 to beat at the front. Rosalito recycled by Ratatouille. Axel Rose coming in for offense, trying to help Stitches through. Stitch with 1 more to beat. Axel Rose with that offense clearing the way, letting Stitch out now on a scoring pass. And from turn 3, Rosalita calls that jam. At the Skater Rats jam line, we have Waffles versus Jazzmanian Devil. Jazzmanian Devil pulls a spinning tiptoe move out on the inside, getting out for lead jammer. Waffles recycled to turn 4. Jazzmanian Devil going under the bridge, getting out for 4 points at turn 1. Jasmanian Devil tiptoeing that inside. Out for another 4. Waffles fighting at the back of the pack, making a run for the inside, running into Track Mamba, getting denied. Looking to get through. Dynamite Dog, Belladonna, Poison Emmy. Jasmanian Devil held back by Sid Vicious on the outside. Poison Emmy sent to the penalty box. Jasmanian Devil trying all sides. And a forearm block penalty sending Jasmanian Devil to the penalty box. This is currently a power jam for Waffles. And this is going to be every skater's favorite, a full 2-minute jam. Waffles making a run for it, weaving past Track Mamba on the way out. And is now on a scoring pass. Candy Cane Skater setting up for a bobsled. Perfect play this time of year. Waffles getting out at the second apex for 4 points. Both teams' defense holding down at the apex here. And Jasmanian Devil pulling a bean dip out of turn 4, taking 4 points. Waffles recycled on the outside. Jasmanian Devil with the apex jump for another 4. Waffles working hard at the back of the pack, 1 versus 4, and the jam clock has expired. All right, everybody, that brings us to intermission. Make sure to go hydrate, get yourself some snacks, possibly candy canes, possibly coal. Feed your dogs and cats and whatever animal family members you have, and we will see you back here in just about 14 and a half minutes. All right, everybody. Once again, thank you for tuning in to the live stream here at your one and only Denver Roll-A-Dome. And once again, these are the final games of the year. These are the final Denver games of 2025. And just want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor, 888, revolutionizing roller derby safety with cutting-edge helmet tech and unrivaled fit options. Stay protected with 888 and 187 killer pads, often imitated, never duplicated stick with the best. We will be returning from this intermission with a score of 64 candy canes to 90 coal. Gonna decide if everybody out there has been good or bad. By the way, let us know in the chat if you've been good this year or if you've been bad this year, or feel free to shout out your favorite skaters, your favorite teams, your favorite city, and let us know where you're tuning in from. Always love to see the support coming in from the friends, the families, and the fans.
Looks like we have about 40 seconds left.
And our earlier prediction is that Goblin is going to get candy canes and coal this holiday season.
And if you do happen to have any extra dollars, Please donate to our Skater Hardship Fund for our skate-a-thon down there on the bottom left. We did have our skate-a-thon earlier this week on Wednesday, but it is our fundraiser is open until the 20th of December. So even if you have just $5, it goes a long way to our skaters facing some hardship.
And I am still sore from the skate-a-thon. I might still be sore all the way to December 20th.
Well, we really appreciate you and all of our other skaters that participated, raising money. So far, we've raised just over $2,600. I think a little bit more.
Right on, love to see it. And kicking off the second half of our game, we have Full Tilt versus Taco Cat. Full Tilt getting out on the inside of Autumn, out for Lee Jammer. Taco Cat held back on the outside by Panic. And Full Tilt getting out at the second straightaway. Both jammers currently out. Everybody's defense getting ready right here at the second apex. Full Tilt from the outside calls off that jam. Just like we had mentioned before, that's one of the possible strategeries to call it off before the opposing jammer can score.
Oh, we got a shout out from SideQuest Hero to our amazing official Cookies on the track. Cookies is one of our jam refs. She is wearing a white helmet tonight.
I was skating earlier today at a rink with wheels that I had got from Cookies, so shout out to Cookies for that too. And Dart Skater out for lead jammer. We got Phoenix looking for the way through these defenders. Denied on the inside by Chasmanian Devil as Dart Skater is out for 4. And another move that we mentioned earlier. There goes a star pass. Bomber currently with the star for the Candy Canes. Dart Skater busting through the center, pulling a reverse move on the way out and calling off that jam.
And just like SideQuest Hero, if anyone else has a shout out for a skater, we would love to shout them out. They always love hearing their names called on the stream. We're going to be putting this on our other website in a couple days, so they'll be able to watch themselves get shouted out by you.
All right, we got Hizzle versus Axel Rose. Hizzle getting out on the outside of turn 2 for lead jammer. Ratatouille with the offense versus Brawly Pop. Hizzle almost getting through on the inside of Stitch, getting recycled to the apex.
Lung, are you looking to buy a house?
Actually, you know what? You must have read my mind because I definitely am.
Well, that's great because we've got a realtor here on the Denver team.
A realtor?
November James Realty. She's a multi-award winning, top-producing real estate broker. Over the past decade, she has successfully guided hundreds of clients like yourself through buying, selling, and investing. She provides herself on her communication, dedication, and trust. When you combine November's real estate experience with her extensive training, you will agree the solution is clear. November James is your agent for your real estate needs.
That is a whole lot of amazing things to combine.
She is just absolutely amazing. And she's an incredible derby player, too.
Oh, that is so awesome. Mind blown, mind blown. Speaking of mind blown, you can avoid getting your skull literally split into pieces with a deep cover helmet from AAA, which is the lowest profile, slimmest fitting, and only triple certified helmet for Derby.
Triple certified? That's a lot more than just double certified. That's crazy.
That's a lot of gold plaques on the back of somebody's helmet.
Looks like we have a power jam going on for the Candy Canes.
Power cane.
It's kind of like a power play from hockey, a little bit.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right, Painbow crashing into these defenders. Sid Vicious coming in for that offense. Painbow taking on Jasmine Devil and Belladonna with a spin move on the way out at the straightaway, taking lead. Cha! Candy Canes looking like a bobsled setup. And sneaking through on that outside, taking 4 points. Painbow getting some offense from Brawly Pop, fighting into this apex. Track Mamba, 2 to beat here, runs through the inside of Brawly Pop, getting out now on a scoring pass. And Track Mamba forcing that call off. That's going to be 8-0 Candy Cane. All right, we have Killer Bee versus Autumn. Both jammers looking for that outside. Autumn held back by Panic. Killer Bee, 1 to beat here, evades through the inside of the final defender. And out for the jammer. Autumn was also out on a scoring pass. As both teams' defense get ready right here at turn 3. Killer Bee making that call off. Just like we had mentioned before, that strategery of calling it off before the opposing jammer can score. And at the Skate Rats jam line, we have Phoenix versus Jasmine and Devil. Both jammers looking for that inside. Phoenix getting denied and recycled. Jasmine and Devil, 1 versus 4, fighting into turn 1. Phoenix also taking on 1 versus 4. Both teams exhibiting very strong defense this whole game. Jasmine and Devil, 2 to beat, pushes through. Bomber and Catatomic Bomb both bomb in. Jasmine and Devil out for lead jammer, pulling an apex jump but getting recycled. Phoenix looking to get past Dynamite Dog and Dort Skater. Phoenix 3 to beat at the front. Jasmine and Devil looking for the direct route through these defenders.
This is amazingly tough walls.
Absolutely. Both teams, the Candy Canes and the Coles, holding down super solid defense. Jasmanian Devil, 1 more to beat here. 1 versus 1, spins through the inside of the pivot, getting out at turn 3 for 4 points. Phoenix getting some offense from El Diablo. Jasmanian Devil almost weaving through, getting recycled back down the straightaway, and the star pass. Bomber with the star for the Candy Canes. However, the jam is called before Bomber has the opportunity to score. Cat with 6-0. In favor of Cole, Candy Canes with 82, Cole with 104. And at the Skate Rats jam line, Hizzle versus Stitch. Jammers trying opposite sides to get through. Ratatouille coming in for offense. Looking to break up some of the way for Stitch. Hizzle looking to push directly through these three defenders, moving the whole defense through the apex. Stitch with 2 more to beat at the front. And Candy Cane Skaters sent to the penalty box. 2 Candy Cane Skaters. Candy Cane's currently down by 2 people on the field. Stitch 1 versus Brawly Pop. And Hizzle evading past Autumn with a high-speed move on the outside. Hizzle taking lead jammer. Stitch on a scoring pass.
Hizzle's nearly on his own out there. So many of his blockers are in the penalty box right now.
And Stitch getting through for 4. Hizzle almost making it through on the inside, running into Autumn. Panic coming in for offense. Panic receiving a directional gameplay penalty sent to the penalty box at that last moment. Six and 4 in favor of Cole.
It's like Cole's got quite an advantage going into this next jam with Brawly Pop and Panic still in the penalty box.
And at the Skate Rats jam line, Waffles versus Track Mamba. Dynamite Dog providing that offense. Track Mamba running out past Bomber, getting out at the apex for lead. Jammer. Waffles trying all the lateral movements, looking for the way around these defenders. Brawly Pop coming in with offense. Track Mamba again, 1 versus Bomber. Tiptoes through on the inside of turn 2, getting out for 4 points. Waffles trying all sides of the track, taking on 1 versus 4 at the back. Track Mamba pulling a coast move on the outside and jumping past Trick or Treat, taking 4 points. Waffles fighting at the back of the pack, heading into turn 1. And Dynamite Dog sent to the penalty box.
Looked like that was for a multiplayer block there. Which I believe is that's where 2 blockers kind of hold on to each other in a dangerous way, right?
That's right. In other sports, you're supposed to team up and more versus 1 multiplayer block somebody, but not here. And Track Mamba has taken 4 points and calls the jam. We have a dance-off at that jam line, as we also have Rosalito versus Taco Cat. Taco Cat finding that clear path on the outside. Is out for lead jammer. Rosalito making a run for the outside. Now on a scoring pass. Taco Cat taking down Killer B. 2 to beat at the front. Cole Skaters coming in for offense. Rosalito pulling off the jump. Taco Cat recycled back down the straightaway by full tilt. Rosalito also recycled back by Autumn. Both teams still showing that strong defense that we've seen this whole game. Taco Cat coasting by on that outside, taking 4 points. Rosalito fighting hard at the back here. Taking on 3 Cole skaters, fighting for that outside. Oh, Track Mama getting some offense from Metalhead. Has Rosalito is out at turn 4 for 4 points. Track Mamba sent, Taco Cat sent to the penalty box. This is a power jam for Rosalito. Rosalito getting out past the outside of Autumn for 4 points. Candy Canes coming in for a bobsled. Rosalito making a move for that inside, tiptoes past Dynamite Dog, and gets out for 4 points. Both teams putting in a lot of work in that jam, both the offense and the defense. 12-7 for the Candy Canes. Candy Canes at 98, Cole at 129. And we have Sid Vicious versus Darth Skater. Sid Vicious making a run for that outside. Evades Track Mamba on the way out. However, Darth Skater was out first for Lead Jammer. Fast moving back here. Already headed back through the straightaway. Whew. This could have been the skate-a-thon.
Right? One of the fastest packs I've ever seen.
Ever. Do not blink your eyes on that streaming screen. You might miss half a lap. Darth Skater finding that speed on the outside and calling off that jam.
Whew. Giving our officials a skate for their money.
You're not kidding. Both teams now in the triple digits. And at the Skate Rats Jam line, we have Phoenix versus Stitch. Phoenix finding that path on the inside, making a run for it, getting out for lead Jammer. Stitch getting offense from Slasher. Oh, a head block penalty has been called, sending Burrow Pop to the box as Stitch is now out on a scoring pass. Phoenix running into these defenders at the front and calling off that jam. That was 4-0 Candy Canes. And we have a team timeout from the Candy Canes. Shout out to Sponsor Collective Sports, dedicated to providing you with top quality custom gear that elevates your performance and showcases your passion for this thrilling sport. Visit cvmsports.com for all of your jersey needs.
Long, didn't you say there was going to be another game after this one?
After we find out what presents we're getting for this holiday season, you are absolutely right. After this, there's going to be the adults game of winter versus summer.
Seasonal face-off in the winter. I wonder, who do you think's, what do you like better, summer or winter?
Well, I of course like both of them better because I'm impartial, but if we're just talking about the climate purely and not skating at all, I'm a hot temperature kind of person.
Oh, yeah. You know, I tend to prefer cooler temperatures. I figure you can always do something more to get warmer. But you can only do so much to get cooler.
But I can't hit those skate parks when there's 3 feet of snow everywhere.
Yes.
And we have Bomber versus Track. Bomber maintaining balance on a 1-foot move on that outside line as Track Mamba is out first for lead Chammer. Bomber pulling a 1-footed side surf through the crowd. Getting out now on a scoring pass. Mamba making a run for that clear path on the outside of turn 2. Getting out for 4 points. Candy Cane skaters looking to clear the way at that last moment there. At the Skate Rats town line, we have Full Tilt versus Metalhead. Full Tilt looking for the way around Autumn, tiptoeing both sides. Metalhead sent to the penalty box on a forearm block. This is a power jam for Full Tilt. Candy Cane skaters panic, clearing the way as Full Tilt popping that apex, getting out for lead Chammer. Candy Cane skaters setting up for that bobsled. Full Tilt weaving through both sides of that pack, getting out for 4 points. Everybody's defense getting ready here at turn 4. Full Tilt almost getting through on that outside. Getting denied by Stitch as Metalhead gets out on the straightaway, now on a scoring pass. Shout out to our longtime sponsor and sponsor of the Jam Line, Skate Rat Skate Shop, located in downtown Loveland. Very excited to see the return of roller derby in Colorado. Skate Rats is the one-stop shop for all things skate. Check out the wide variety of products, custom skates, safety gear, skateboards, clothing, and stickers for that helmet and water bottle. With over 10 years of experience, the Skate Rat staff is friendly and knowledgeable in helping you find or build whatever you may need. Check out SK number 8, RATZ.com for the great selection of product and speedy shipping services anywhere worldwide. And visit the retail store in Loveland for the smooth and enjoyable shopping experience.
We also want to thank our sponsor, Sisu. Sisu is designed with athletes in mind. Say goodbye to old, bulky mouth guards. You can talk, breathe, and drink easily with Sisu. Ultra lightweight and super comfortable, this is the only mouth guard you need.
My mouth guard is definitely super bulky. I think I need to get a Sisu.
I actually have one. I've had one for a little while now, and it's remarkably comfortable, easy to talk in, and I like comfortable. That's the biggest thing. And I probably saved my teeth quite a few times.
On the skate track and while playing those tabletop games.
You know, those dice can just go after you. You never know.
And they definitely can. All right, we have Catatomic Bomb versus Darth Skater. Darth Skater taking down Bomber on the way out, getting out at the apex for lead Jammer. Catatomic Bomb trying all the lateral movements. Darth Skater evading Bomber on the outside, getting out for 4 points. Catatomic Bomb utilizing that clear path on the outside and getting past Track Mamba at turn 2. Catatomic Bomb on a scoring pass. Darth Skater Denied on that outside and calls off the jam. Love to see the dancing at the jam line. Camaraderie between the two opposing teams. At the Skate Rats jam line, we got Killer Bee versus Ratatouille. Ratatouille denied on that outside line by Panic. Killer Bee getting out at the apex. Release jammer. And star pass. Axel Rose with the star for the Colt team, getting out on the inside of the straightaway, now on a scoring pass. Killer Bee fighting out of turn 3, pulling a reverse move on the way out while calling off the jam. That was 4-0 Candy Canes. Candy Canes 114, Cole 145. And at the Skate Rats jam line, we have Waffles versus Jasmine Devil. Jasmine Devil making a run through the inside, running past Bomber, getting out for lead jammer. Waffles getting some offensive assistance, trying to break up some of these Cole skaters. Jasmine Devil pulling a bean dip past Bomber on the outside, getting 4 points. Waffles trying all sides of the track, running into Mamba on that outside. Jasmine Devil getting some offensive assistance from Belladonna. Jasmine Devil tiptoeing that inside, getting out for 4 points and calling off the jam. And at the Skate Rats jam line, Rosalita versus Autumn. Autumn bursting right through the center, however, getting recycled on the inside. Rosalita looking for the wave pass. Mid-hit. Full tilt sent to the penalty box. And at turn 2, Autumn getting out for lead jammer. Rosalita recycled on the outside. And a forearm block penalty sending Pop to the box. Both jammers are now out, with Autumn taking 4 points and calling off that jam. At the Skate Rats jam line, we have Painbow versus Poison Emmy. Painbow looking for the way through Dart Skater, Jasmine and Devil Track Mamba. As Poison Emmy has gotten out for lead jammer. Painbow running through the inside, tiptoeing spin move past Dynamite Dog. Now looking to get around Darth Skater. Everybody in a tight cluster here, heading into turn 3. Painbow fighting for that inside. Getting recycled back down the straightaway. Poison Emmy almost through on the inside, getting a small recycle. Dart Skater with the offense, clearing the way as Poison Emmy is out for 4 points. Painbow recycled on the outside. Poison Emmy denied on that outside. Recycled by Brawley Pop. Back down the straightaway. Poison Emmy recycled to turn 2. And star pass. Full tilt with the star for the Candy Canes. And Poison Emmy has called off this jam. That is 7-0 Cole. We are approaching the final section of minutes for this game. Make sure to shout out your favorite skaters, your favorite teams. Shout out where you're tuning in from. Shout out your favorite officials. And Axel Rose denied on that inside. 2 to beat at the front, gets past Killer Bee and Panic. For lead, Jammer Hizzle also out on a scoring pass. And a race here, Jammer versus Jammer. Fast moving pack. Axel Rolls taking down Killer Bee. Hizzle looking to make a move through the inside. Both teams getting points on that jam. Three and three. And we have Sid Vicious versus Belladonna. Belladonna running out on the inside of turn 1, getting out for the Jammer. Sid Vicious taking on track, Mamba on the outside. Sneaks out past the outside of Darth Skater. Sid Vicious now on a scoring pass. Belladonna getting out past Bomber for 4 points. And there's the call off. That will be 4-0 Cole. The Skate Rats jam line, Killer Bee versus Metalhead. Oh, Jammer's looking for that center path. Slasher sent to the penalty box on the track cut. Metalhead getting out past full tilt, out for lead Jammer. Taco Cat also sent to the penalty box. Cole currently down 2 skaters. Killer Bee on a scoring pass. And from turn 3, Metalhead calls the jam. Everybody getting points on that jam. That was 3-1 Candy Cane.
Got under a minute and 30 seconds left in this game. This could be the last jam.
All right, we got Bomber versus Dynamite Dog. Bomber finding that path on the outside, getting out for lead Jammer. Dynamite Dog also on a scoring pass as Catatonic Bomb has been sent to the penalty box. Another super fast moving pack here. El Diablo and Trick or Treat catching up to those defenders. And Bomber getting through for 4. Dynamite Dog also taking 4 points. Both teams' defense have now stopped here at turn 1. And a low block sending Poison Emmy to the penalty box as Dynamite Dog gets out past the final defender out of turn 2, taking 4 points. Bomber also out at turn 2 for 4 and calling this jam. That jam tying for first is the fastest moving jam ever. All right, and that is our unofficial score. We will wait for the rolling whistle. All right, that is the rolling whistle.
Which brings us to the end of our game. We should get the official answer to our score in a moment here. But it seems pretty clear that Cole has won the day against the Candy Canes.
Once again, everybody out there, thank you so much for tuning in to the live stream. Oh, and there we go. The final score of your final juniors game for 2025. Final game of the year. Candy Canes 128, Cole 180. Make sure to stick around for the next game. It's going to be winter versus summer. Winter is coming. Also, summer is coming as well. In the meantime, make sure to hydrate, get some snacks, feed your dogs, cats, and other animal family members, and we will see you here for winter versus summer.
Here in about 30 minutes. Go get some drinks, get some nice toasty food. We'll see you soon.